Pentacles has to do not just with money, but the material realm, so work and desires. And we can also link it to the gross level of reality. So let's just talk about the work day. So you're driving to work, you've got some concerns about the day ahead of you. Maybe you're in a job you don't like, or you don't have the freedom you'd like to have. Maybe there's some concerns about being criticized, or even demoted or fired. But then driving home, you might feel relief. I got through another day. Thank gosh. You're just relieved to be out of there. Then you come home and you're like, how do I use my time off? Should I meditate? Should I go into nature? It's like if the job is an intense job, you may be confused when you get home how to adjust. The most extreme example of this we have is with military, when people come back from being deployed and then they try to reintegrate back into the world. It can be very difficult for them. If we can be with our tension on the way to work or on the way to anything, right? Something that's causing tension, if we can be with that tension, and then be with the release of the tension and the exit, can we be okay with the bardo and confusion? So we can link the concerns about the workday, the commute to work being the call and the trial being the actual experience at the workplace. That's where imagination may be dominating. And then you're going home, and that's the return. You're returning home. And then the bardo could be this confusing state where you're at home and there's a lot of things that you could do, but there's not the same urgency and push and need and demands that work is advocated. So you may find that you could clean your house, but you don't feel like it. You could just try to unwind, but it feels a little bit like should I be more productive? So that's what we're exploring. So you may know the tree of life, and so sphere 6, balance, is the center of the tree, and it's related literally to charity. But I think it's also about being charitable to your child parts and to your splits. So we have on one side 5 of Pentacles, that's the contraction, boundaries, and that's where you're seeing the law of impermanence. You're seeing that there's loss. Things are not going that well for you. But with 4 of Pentacles, then there's a defiance of the law of impermanence, that you're trying to hold on to things. And so we have sphere 5, which is associated with limits and contraction and boundaries, and sphere 4 is concerned with purpose and expansion. So the expansion of your bank account, for example, material realm, and the limits of your bank account being the poverty and material realm. But this is just echoes of my more primordial energetics that the sphere of life, the tree of life, and the spheres represent. At sphere 5, there's boundaries, and at sphere 4, you're breaking free of those boundaries by maybe getting more than your fair share of money, or you're trying to get richer and richer, and there's no balance. So with charitable actions, charitable to ourselves and charitable to others, and maybe even bringing some of the money that you're making from that job to serve others, not yourself, then you may find something to do in that bardo period when you're not at the workplace. And then when you're feeling the tension in the workplace, it may be linked not to woe is me, victim, but more a rescuer mindset, that I am going to help others who are being persecuted, or help animals. And so sphere 8 has to do with conformity, sphere 7 has to do with the individual will, and 8 of Pentacles has to do with apprenticeship and mastery. So you're conforming, but you're also seeing the law of impermanence. I'm the apprentice now, but I'll be the master later, or maybe I'll be the master in some other realm, if not at the workplace. And then individual will, investment and effort, he's looking at the left side of the tree, and he's looking a little glum, but maybe he's waiting. He's waiting for there to be fruit. He's waiting for the manifestation of his individual will. But what binds all these together, in my opinion, is 6, that chastity, that poverty, that obedience, not literally those things, but noticing the desire to indulge our own personal will, our own desire, but also our uncharitable limitation and contraction and judging ourselves for nonconformity. So balance has an energetic quality. It's not just reining in our desire for our investments and our wealth and our expansion and our defying of the law of impermanence with the opposite. No, this is about balance, bringing balance to all of that. So then we can apply that to the stages that happen during our workday. Just want to talk quickly about the difference of coaching and therapy. Coaches ask questions to solve problems. So if you're not looking at things deeply, if you're veering to the left or the right in the tree of life, and the coach is just simply trying to help you be more individual, right? Be more driven, be less limited, then they're not actually bringing you into a state of balance. And if you ask problem-solving questions, whether you're a counselor or a coach or anybody, you may be communicating that you don't trust the person to solve their own problems. You know, what are you going to do about this? Or aren't you worried about that? You may convey that you don't have patience to allow them to find their own solutions or even to define the problems. And then just some pointers in terms of finding balance. You don't get to choose what you feel, only whether to feel it or not. So when we're charitable towards ourselves, we're allowing ourselves to feel the feelings, so we don't have self-abandonment, and we can be with it, compassion, be with passion, with pain. And then instead of nobody's home, we're home for ourselves. Many of life's problems begin to be resolved the moment we focus on them. It's hard to believe, but just by being present for them, they may resolve themselves. And problem-solving questions, again, convey this lack of trust. Last thoughts. You're welcome in English. Spanish, de nada. And we say is nothing. It's the same as the French expression de rien, which means of nothing. So from nothing, it is nothing. It's coming from nothing versus you're welcome. It might seem meaningless to you, but let's dive deeper quickly. When you say you're welcome, you're saying it's good that you thank me and you are welcome to whatever I have done for you. So in other words, I'm being charitable towards you, Six of Pentacles, because I need you to thank me. There's an exchange happening. Whereas it is nothing. If the person says, thank you for this money, and you say it's nothing, you might come across as being arrogant because it's only a few coins to you and it doesn't mean anything. But from a non-coin-based framework, it's saying something much deeper. With de nada, I suggest that we're telling the person not to thank us because we are one with them, or it is not an effort to meet them where they are. So if you have a nice conversation with somebody, and at the end you say thank you, they say, what do you thank me for? I enjoyed having a conversation with you. If you say thank you and they don't say that, or they don't think to say that, then they may be feeling like they're doing you a favor, and you may feel like they're doing you a favor. So it is nothing negates the separation between you. The culture that is striving toward unity or embodies unity, like maybe in Spanish-speaking countries, the thank you is actually creating a distance, whereas de nada is saying, no, there's no distance. There's nothing to help you. It's like helping myself. So in English, we're accentuating the difference, and Spanish is attempting to nullify it by literally saying, it's nothing. Think nothing of what I've done. If you think something of what I've done, you're creating separation. Don't thank me. So on the surface, it was no burden as I value you. I value you, so why would you thank me? It's not a burden. It's nothing to be thanking for. And so the deeper level is we are one. The mask, if there's anger and desire in your conscious mind around money, for example, then you're suppressing fear. So if you desire for more money, you're suppressing the fear of not having money, but it's what's driving you. If your fear of losing money is happening, it may actually suppress your anger about your situation and the desire you have to have more wealth. And if you see it's hard to have positive self-attributes, maybe you're looking at money as a way to prove you're good, you're suppressing your other positive self-attributes and only using money as the channel. So with balance and being charitable to ourselves, we move beyond those polarities.